Artificial intelligence is being sold as humanity's next great leap forward. The promise is extraordinary: smarter businesses, better healthcare, faster innovation, greater productivity, and perhaps even a more prosperous world. But every technological revolution comes with a question its champions rarely like to answer: who gets left behind? History offers a useful reminder. The Industrial Revolution created unprecedented wealth, but it also created inequality. The Internet connected billions, yet concentrated immense power in the hands of a few technological giants. Every great leap forward has created winners and losers. And now comes AI, a technology powerful enough to write, analyze, design, create, predict, and increasingly make decisions once reserved for human beings. So tonight, we ask questions that goes far beyond tech. Will I empower millions or create a new inequality? Will it become the great democratizer of opportunity, unlocking access, productivity, and prosperity on an unprecedented scale? Or will it create a world where those who understand AI race ahead while everyone else struggles to catch up? Most importantly, where does Bharat fit into the story? Will we lead? Will we adapt? Or we simply consume what others create? Because this is not merely a conversation about technology, it is a conversation about jobs, education, business, leadership, competitiveness, and ultimately the future of Bharat itself. If the future of AI is being written today, it is not being written in just one industry. It is being written across boardrooms, enterprises, financial institutes, technology ecosystems, and consumer businesses around the world. And that is precisely why we have assembled this panel. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bharat Frontliners. This is Urvashi Sharma, your host. So, here we are to understand the transformation that AI brings and what this transformation means for Bharat. We have brought together leaders who are witnessing this shift from some of the most consequential sectors of business and technology. Joining us is Amruta Kanetkar, bringing a perspective from financial services, where AI is redefining customer engagement, risk management, operational efficiency, and the future of financial inclusion. Welcome, Amrita.
Thank you.
We're joined by Deepak Babel, 16 years in software, now helping enterprises actually adopt AI instead of just talking about it. Through his brand Think Code Naturally, he trains engineering teams across automotive, e commerce, and tech and runs his own ventures on the side. So everything he teaches has been tested against a real PNL, not just a slide. Welcome to the show, Deepak.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Urvashi. So glad to be here with you guys.
Joining the discussion with us is Darshan Chaudhary, senior data and AI transformation expert from the IT sector, where AI has rapidly evolved from experimentation to execution and measurable business impact. Welcome, Darshan.
Thank you. Thank you, Urvashi. And thank you, everyone.
Together, they all represent different sectors, different realities, different priorities. Yet all of them are confronting the same fundamental question: will AI empower millions or create a new inequality that we are only beginning to understand? Welcome to Bharat Frontliners. Bharat in front, you in focus. So let me set this stage before we dive deeper. I'd like to begin by getting an opening view from each of you. If we look beyond the headlines, beyond the excitement, and beyond the concerns, and take a step back to look at the bigger picture, where do you think this story is headed? Will AI create more opportunity for more people, or will it deepen the gap between those who have access to it and those who don't? And what gives you the confidence in that view? Deepak, let me start with you first, as you are dealing with lot of sectors, lot of coachings and training. Let me start with you. Let me hear it out from you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Urvashi. This is such an interesting question and the most asked one in most of the forums where I speak. So, to be very honest, whenever a new groundbreaking technology comes in, there are always pros and cons of it. Okay. So I feel that, and many of the people also have the same opinion that since the advent of electricity, this is like the single most biggest innovation, Gen AI. And what it does is it is going to, to be very honest, it is going to divide the world into two parts. Okay, the ones who pioneer and use this to transform their lives as well as lives of people around them, and then those people who complain and who always see faults with it. So with every new invention, there comes pros and cons, but the thing is, how do you use it to your own advantage? Okay. So what I will suggest everyone is to always have a positive outlook. And even if there are some challenges which are thrown around by AI, Gen AI. So say suppose one of the things that people argue is that, climate change, that the data centers, there are going to be a lot more data centers, the world need enough power and all those things, then that is a challenge. So are you just going to complain about it, or actually you are going to do something about it? So Microsoft, if you look, what it has done is it has innovated a new technology wherein what they are doing is they are storing all your data in silicon chips, and these silicon chips are so small, and these are like unbreakable glass kind of material, and they can hold so much data within them. Okay, so it actually
Mhm.
does away with all the traditional hard disk and all those things. So always you will have challenges, but it's always about the outlook. It's always about the perception. So with the flood of opportunities which you have with AI, there are going to be some significant, challenges as well. But our thing is,
Mhm.
how do we solve it? Yeah.
That's a
So
very
that's
strong point to be noted, Deepak, that you should go with the flow, and then you can see what are the pros and what are the cons, and how do you see positivity around it, and how can you use it to best of your opportunities, if I understood it correctly.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. Coming to Amrita, Amrita, you are coming from financial services, and financial services has historically been one of the earliest adopters of tech, from ATMs and online bankings to digital payments and fintech. As AI moves into everything from customer service and fraud detection to lending and investment advice, where do you see the biggest transformation taking place over the next decade? And
Thank you,
perhaps
Urvashi.
more importantly, where do you see the greatest value being created for institutions, customers, and the broader financial ecosystem?
Right. Thanks, Urvashi, for the brilliant question. I think also partially relating to what Deepak mentioned, it may be like what he mentioned is applicable to maybe at a personal level or individual level. But if I have to, my magnify it to a financial institutions level. So I work in one of the AI and cloud leader companies, and I work for financial services customers. And like you rightly said, there are fintech, and there are smaller digital native banks who are adopting extremely fast and want to challenge and adopt to everything that's moving every single day, from not just customer service or ATMs, but also from security and vulnerability perspectives. Versus because financial service is an extremely regulated industry, compliance and security is
Mm-hmm.
extremely high. There are also a lot of financial institutions who still are really struggling with what is the right way to do things, because they are very, very protective, of course, about their customer data and stuff. So it's
Right.
I see two extremes working in the AI space in the financial services, where there are digital native, like I mentioned. They are super fast, they want to change, they want to keep updating, they want to keep upgrading, versus there are traditional banks who are still not ready to go that fast. But I think
Mm-hmm.
eventually, looking at the customer base, looking at the way technology is changing, looking at the way these their users are going to change, it is, eventually they have to migrate faster, and they cannot work at the same pace that they have been doing till now, because every
Mm-hmm.
single day we all read news, we all see things are changing so fast. So I think they will eventually have to pace up and match the speed, otherwise they're going to go extinct, like they're going to go extinct, and they're going to um, keep reducing the business. And I'm already seeing that in some of the traditional banks, that their new customer base is declining.
Mm-hmm.
Their existing, the older generations, probably our parents or grandparents generations, they still of course prefer traditional banking, so maybe they are still
Right.
using that. But probably our generation or the future generations to come are not going to be using these banks. So a lot of digital native banks, a lot of fintech industry is moving extremely fast, and the
Hmm.
conversations that I've with my customers, are changing also on a daily basis. What they speak with a lot of new AI models coming in terms of vulnerabilities, like my thoughts we read about in the news. So all the banks and all the financial services institutions are definitely gearing up for a lot of
Hmm.
risks and cybersecurity attacks. So that's also one fast movement. So from a security perspective, from a bank's perspective, and for the customer's perspective, yes, things are changing rapidly, but we should expect those to move even at a faster pace in the next 1 to 2 years also.
So the impacts are already visible in the financial sectors. If we say if you do not pace up, there are
Yeah,
chances that you might be left behind.
absolutely,
That's an
absolutely.
interesting point. That's a very interesting point. Coming to you, Darshan, you have worked at the intersection of data and AI transformation.
Mhm.
Every company today says it has an AI strategy. From your vantage point, what separates organizations that are genuinely transforming from those that are simply experimenting? Or maybe worse, simply talking about it, not even experimenting? And where do you believe Bharat currently stands in the journey compared to the rest of the world?
Yes. Yes. Thank you for asking that question. And again, before answering that, so the point which Deepak and Amruta highlighted. Okay, so there are different opportunities and threats, and again, where there are different things which are highlighted by Amruta with respect to financial and cybersecurity space. Uh, with respect to that, if we consider, okay, so in global standards, different organization, in India, specifically in Bharat, they are providing services. Okay, they are getting involved into different kinds of services. Okay, and for Bharat, we have large engineering talent base here. Okay, we have strong IT service industry, and we have that startup ecosystem as well. So which becomes the strongest point for India. Like domestic market is high. We are getting involved into this different government push from different programs like India AI
Hmm.
mission, and we have those even digital public infrastructure as well, like different payment gateway and all those initiatives from government side. So we have good opportunity for Bharat, and even those opportunity are a little bit different from other countries like US and China, where US leads in those frontier models, big AI
Hmm.
companies. Okay, China had strong those hardware scale, and then they have different kind of execution. But Bharat can lead in that applied AI, inclusive AI, different AI services, and also domain specific as well, like healthcare, education. So India
Hmm.
population, they are already adopted with digital platforms. So we have seen that
Hmm.
growth while those digital payment apps. Okay, so where initially those were mimicked and like laughed at initial stages, but now we can see those impact. So same thing we are anticipating, like in India, in Bharat, lots of things will grow along with the time. AI adoption will increase, but some with those opportunities, like I can see that some Indian language models can be introduced. India specific data sets will be there from different sectors. Okay, even domain wise, we have a lot of population, and uh, even along with government act like DPDP Act with respect to data protection. So responsible AI frameworks will be available, and though initially that cost is high for these AI platforms, so low cost AI platform will get introduced so that adoption can increase, and emerging markets can Bharat can be progressed as an emerging market for adopting all those things. But there are some risk possibilities as well along with that. But again, we have seen that whenever there is enhanced technological advancement happens, like earlier from computer, then automation, now with AI. So again, some new opportunities also comes up with those risks as well.
Right, right. So I see there is a lot of scope. There is a lot of stuff that is coming in. And the point that you mentioned that something very specific to Indian languages, the LLMs can be created, and that would be very useful for our upcoming engineering grads. That is something worth noticing.
Correct.
Darshan, following up onto this one,
Mhm.
you're currently very closely working with the AI implementation across your
Mhm.
organization and across cross organizations. Do you agree that AI is already becoming a genuine competitive advantage? Or are we still in a phase where many companies are investing heavily without clearly understanding the return on that investment?
Yes. So what I can see that that adoption without skilling or governance and responsibility, it can increase that inequality or misinformation. And in technology area or even job, so it create that anxiety. But if we adopt that AI with the right strategy, it can surely improve that productivity, create new jobs as well, and it can support different public service sectors as well. And from Bharat perspective, it can make us globally competitive as well. So use of AI to
Mhm.
empower people, skill people at a scale. So that will be a biggest impact for us. Then language model, which I already highlighted. Then some new things with respect to protecting data, privacy. Then keeping those human accountable for that, and
Hmm.
focusing on those real business problem, not just fancy demos or creating those apps. So if AI treated as not treated as a replacement for organization everything or for people, it should be treated as a force multiplier for Bharat's talent or even for organization sections as well for implementation part. So that becomes a good point for organization across India as well.
This is such a breather. This would be such a breather for our audience who would be listening it. That there are good points that are coming in over here. All right. Moving on, I would like your perspective on this entire AI stuff, that who captures the value. One of the lessons from every technological revolution is that value is created at different layers. Some companies build the technology, some deploy it, and some use it to reinvent entire business model. When we look back 10 years from now, where do you think most of the economic values from AI will have been captured? By technology companies, by traditional enterprises, or by entirely new business that don't yet exist? Maybe Amrita, I'll start with you.
Sure. So I think it's going to be across, Urvashi, as you mentioned, because right now probably if you look back 10 years, we wouldn't have fathomed what AI or Gen AI would have existed right now. There are completely new businesses that are coming up which we never imagined. So I think it's going to be an
Mhm.
end-to-end impact. Traditional businesses, of course, will probably see a lesser impact because their time to change is still, like I mentioned earlier, is little slower. But I think
Hmm.
economically, wherever a lot of manual, repetitive work is there, a lot of automations and a lot of processes are going to be taken over by AI, and that is going to, again, I think, economically save a lot of costs on companies. Again, at the root is, of course, technology companies that provide these AI and cloud services, so they are, of course, going to be benefiting probably the highest, I'll say, because they are
Mhm.
providing the services. But I think, again, if I speak from a financial services perspective, the go-to market for all the the institutions is definitely going to be faster, and institutions that really benefit out of those who know how to bring out new features, new things for their customers, will benefit economically, drastically from what they are doing business right now in the next 5 to 10 years, I feel.
That is such a great insight. That is such a great insight. Um, Looking at on a holistic view, our today's discussion was majorly focused on how AI is transforming organizations, be it financial, be it production, be it any organization. But for millions of people watching who will be watching this conversation, the question is much simpler. How will AI change my life? What impact will I have? When we look ahead 5 or 10 years, what is the biggest change ordinary Indians are likely to experience because of AI, whether they realize it or not? Maybe Deepak, we'll start with you.
So again, very interesting question, and I think India. I will say that India's generation, uh, even the Gen Z and the new ones which are coming up, they are actually very technologically advanced. Okay, these guys
Mm-hmm.
learn to play a lot with technology. And if you look at the broader world, so the broader world is still always in debating and discussion mode on. There are there are some pioneers, but those are like 1 to 2% of their population of the entire country, and then there is like 90% of the population who doesn't want to go with the tide. They have their own fixated mindset. But India has always captured on the wave. Like if you look at our own IT services companies, their model is simple, that all the core R&D was probably done in the west side, but what
Right.
they did is they understood what are the use cases, and they helped customers all across the world to apply those use cases by integrating deeply with their workflows and domains. So if I
Mhm.
talk about normal person day to day, so our generation, what they are going to do is they are going to carve out that how the different type of AIs could help in their day to day job. Like for example, if we look at this restaurant industry, okay, so restaurant
Hmm.
industry is considered as labor intensive, and I already see there are different pilots which are going on in a few of the restaurant industries, wherein what is happening is they are already playing out with robotic that vendor catering machine. So the food is actually served on that particular robotic train. Another thing is what they have done is they have put the QR code everywhere. So you just have to place the QR code. There is no waiter actually going to come in. You just select what items you need, and all those things directly go to the main chef, and there the preparation is done, and then it comes down. And did you also know that now in Bangalore there are food bots, okay, available in airport and railway stations, and what there are different menus which you can order, like idli, dosas, and uttapams of the world, and you just have
Hmm.
to, like, how do we operate an ATM? So I think that India is going to experiment a lot, and we guys are jugadu people. So now that this Gen AI is democratized for each and everyone, so I feel everybody is going to find the use case for them, and we guys uh, are going to rule the world in the next 3 to 5 years.
That is such an amazing thing for the entire audience and for all of us as well, Deepak. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. I think
Now,
adding on to Deepak, what he mentioned about Jugado, I mean, I see so many people, nowadays not really using any travel companies. They talk to ChatGPT or so many other apps on their phone and will plan an entire itinerary trip. They know how to reach a destination. They know how to do flight booking and stuff. So I think the more it is integrating in our daily lives, I think the more it's becoming very very natural
hmm,
as part of our extended selves to be using different AI applications.
right, right. And somewhere even I feel that we Indians, as Deepak rightly mentioned, being Jughadu people, we like to experiment. We never shy away from experimenting things and accommodating
Ve-
them in our
Very true.
regular daily life.
Very true. Very true.
Now, let us come to a very reality check kind of stuff. One of the biggest fears surrounding AI is employment. There are every technological revolution has also created entirely new opportunities, but with incoming AI, it is always being heard that jobs will be cut down. So, if a 22-year-old grad who's watching this discussion, what would you tell them to focus on over the next decade? What skills become more valuable in an AI driven world, and what skills risk become less relevant? Darshan, we'll
Uh,
start with you.
Okay, so not specific with like any skills or anything. So AI will not simply remove jobs. It will change job roles or
Mhm.
structures, then skill expectation. Okay, and future will belong to the people, those who can work with AI, not against it. Okay, so like
Mhm.
if you are doing or next generation, if they are expecting that from like legacy completing their graduation, then doing those jobs. So now with this AI involvement everywhere in every sector, everything. Okay, so it will not be a standard way. Okay, everyone will have to use AI in their day-to-day activity, and that will give a chance to their regular work or whatever regular work we did till now with the help of AI and complete it within less time. Okay, like you can take example that AI will automate those repetitive and rule based tasks, okay, like data entry,
Hmm.
simple reporting, but it will increase demand for higher value skills like problem solving, where real
Hmm.
human involvement will be required, because these AI models, they are trained on past data or past information, but whatever new things will
Right.
come into the market, so to solve those problems some human intelligence will be required. Then again,
That
domain
is very much
understanding as
important.
well.
True.
Yes, domain
Hmm.
understanding as well. So we cannot simply say that if AI is trained in health sector domain can answer everything or do everything. We will need
Right.
those doctors, we will need those skilled nurses or supporting staff member at hospital industry. Then again, for critical thinking as well, human will have to
Hmm.
evolve them, like they should get involved into critical thinking, then data interpretation, which is not possible with for AI as well. And then again, learning this prompting and AI tool uses, they can skill up themselves into AI governance, cyber security, then even human judgment as well. Again, face to face human communication, client or business communication,
Exactly.
that will grow, like where AI will just do those formal communication or even designing or solution giving, that way. So people not upgrading their skill fast enough with AI, they will be at a risk. Again,
Hmm.
AI is not going to replace that people. So along with that time, AI literacy will become important, data literacy, or like in every sector, even healthcare as well, they can use assistance of AI, but at the end human decision or human experience that will matter. So professionally everyone should learn these things, like how to use AI tool, how to validate that AI answers or output, and how to apply that AI in their own domain, like different
Hmm.
domains, not only IT sector, everywhere, even agriculture as well, education sector, healthcare, every domain, manufacturing as well. So
Yeah.
AI will not take your job directly, but a person who knows how to use AI better may become more valuable than someone who does not. So that's I
I
can
think this
say for this
clarifies,
shop.
yeah, that clarifies the doubt of most of the graduation grads who will be listening to this. I think Deepak has something to add on to this. Deepak, please go ahead. Before you go on, Deepak, just a quick time check. We have got 8 minutes with our meeting, so we'll have one last question once Deepak finishes.
Sure. So actually, I want to give a realistic information around this particular question. So if you look at the data from layoffs.fyi website from the last 2-3 years, there has been close to around 5 lakh layoffs across tech because of AI. Okay, and all has been attributed in one or the other ways to AI. So to say that AI is not going to take jobs is not right. So what happened was during COVID
Hmm.
time, there was a bubble wherein all the investors they wanted to get the maximum return, and that time since the interest rates were nearly zero, so everybody betted on the tech industries and poured all their investment down there. So the tech industry, what it did is it invested heavily into new engagements, also new research and all those things. And now when the like after the industry is reopened and all those things, then what happened was under the guise of AI and all these things, there have been a lot of layoffs going on. But the
Hmm.
thing is, layoffs are going to become a norm. Okay, so going forward, every individual should have a plan. Like everybody should be financially educated that there is something called as a passive income or side income.
Right.
Okay, how
Right.
now you will see more gig economy, more freelancer economy, more
Yes.
solopreneurship. Okay, all those kind of job roles coming in. Okay, so the formal employment, like India was always like the most stable job sector or job economy, but that thing is going to redefine. We are already seeing it across tech. No,
Yeah.
even the Microsoft employees, during every last week of their month, they have this internal thing going on that who's going to get laid off. There are silent layoffs that happen every month, and not many people are aware of it. So everybody is on the radar. But the thing is, when life throws challenges at you, you should look at the positive side, or every
Exactly.
challenge opens a lot of doors
New
for you.
doors.
Okay.
New doors. Exactly. So I think that is something people should be taking in consideration starting now, that it is not just one job, it is a skill that you need to grasp and then grow ahead with that. So, all in all, we had the current scenarios which we were talking about. Now, in the last section of this conversation, let us go ahead in future, maybe next decade. Imagine a child who enters a school today. By the time that child enters the workforce, AI will likely be deeply embedded into our everyday life. What does success look like for that generation? And what would concern you the most if we get this transition wrong? Amrita, maybe I'll start with you.
That's an interesting question. I think, yeah, I mean, we are talking about AI right now. Probably 10 years later, it won't even be a topic. It will be just part of their natural life, like probably smartphones. If I say smartphones right now, people will be like, what that word means, because it's so much embedded in our life. So it's going to be a natural progression into that. It won't be a hot topic. Probably something else will be. So, like Darshan was mentioning before, if the transition goes well, they have to understand that it is not AI or me. It is how AI and me
Mhm.
work together. It is how I am able to,
Exactly.
put in my human intelligence, my EQ, my emotional quotient into it, and how I can still keep the human touch alive as this new generation goes into the workforce maybe 10, 15 years later. I think that's going to be key as how human we can stay along with and grow with the AI also.
Exactly. Darshan, 30 seconds. You can add your thoughts to this. If the
I have
transition goes wrong, where do we stand? I am really interested into that.
I see, like, I have very different views. Like, even I heard those statement or seen those posts, whatever discussed 50 years back. Like, after 50 years, there will be flying cars everywhere in the sky. Okay, but that is not happening till now. And I'm anticipating, like, though we are seeing everywhere is AI everywhere, like AI will be very common. Okay, earlier to that, computer and other technologies things. Mention that in the past, like they will take human job, no one will have to do anything. So I don't think like many changes are going to happen in real life. Okay, the basic things or the point which you mentioned, like anyone entering into that school, any student, okay, how things will change, how their life will change. I think like after some time or decades, okay, it will be adopted, it will be a very normalized thing as Deepak mentioned. But there could be a possibility like with respect to AI which requires a huge data to train and
Hmm.
understand. Okay, there could be a possibility like security and all those aspects come into the that picture, and it may restrict that AI for personal use or like personal day-to-day
Hmm.
activities. It may remain limited for enterprise or some critical things only, and assistance it will be there, though we are seeing that in Bharat specifically. So AI transformation, we are not into the race of creating new AI models the way uh,
Hmm.
America or China getting involved. So we are getting into like creating a solution for people, okay, in different sector. So that will keep growing, but no major impact. I feel that after 10 years, it will become, as Amruta highlighted, it will become very normalized thing, that
Hmm.
transformation. And but that is not going to make major impact, though layoff related points are highlighted by Deepak. But still there will be, as Deepak also highlighted, that there will be another lot of opportunities, like people will focus on
Right.
family values or real life experience or even greenery as well. So I see that after decades there will be no importance for AI uh, when it will become a normalized, but it will be more importance to other stuffs which will really connect people to each other.
That is such a human centric thought, I would say, not just AI centric. That is very very connecting to human beings back to our roots. Such a wonderful thought. Thank you for that, Darshan. So yeah, as we wrap up this discussion, one thing is very clear: AI is no longer a technology of the future. It is already shaping the future of business, work, investment, and society. The Darshan rightly mentioned that after 10 years, maybe once this bubble is busted, we will be focusing more on human centric stuff like greenery and sustainability and stuff. Whether it becomes the greatest force of empowerment in our lifetime or creates a new inequality, that will depend not just on tech, but on the choices we make as business leaders, policymakers, and citizens, which is clearly highlighted by every point that Deepak has mentioned. My sincere thanks to all three of you, Amrita, Deepak, and Darshan, for joining us today and sharing your valuable insights and perspective with the citizens of India. This is Urvashi Sharma, host for the day. This is Bharat Frontliners, Bharat in front, you in focus. Thank you so much, guys. That was such a wonderful discussion. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone. Thank you so